Welcome to Sugar Coated Murder Podcast, a brilliant true crime podcast hosted by two zany sisters, all while baking up delicious treats in their kitchen. Here are your podcast hosts, Karen Devaney and Ann Varner.
Okay, everybody, we're back.
Hello.
We are back, and we have an exciting guest with us today. So first of all, in case this is the first time you've ever turned on our podcast, I'm Karen.
And I'm Ann.
And we are the Sugar Coated Murder Sisters. That's interesting. We're the Sugar Coated Murder co-hosts, and we're sisters, and we're crazy. So today, like I said, we have a really special guest. We're excited to introduce a really good friend of ours. She's an author and a coach, and she's amazing. I follow her on all the socials. I really get into her Instagram stuff, though, because she posts a lot of great videos and just thoughtful things for people who are writing. And she's amazing. So Liz Bullard, almost massacred your name. That would have been funny. But anyway, Liz Bullard, why don't you tell the whole world what you think they should know about you? You're an exceptional person, but aside from that.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to be back here with y'all. It's always a good time. So, hello, folks who may not know me. My name is Liz. I am an author and coach. I write in the fantasy and mystery genre, with my latest release being Chasing Nightmares, book 2 in the Lyra Sommers mystery. And so, if you like some witty characters, some craziness, some romance as a thread, you are definitely going to love that. I coach folks. I'm a therapist by trade. And so I blend those therapeutic skills with the creative, so that way you can have some sustainability and some wellness to create and continue your projects, so that way you're not feeling burnt out or stuck. And so and I'm also a corgi mom. So you may hear Preston, who's over here napping.
We love Preston.
Yes. And so that's me. And I'm super excited to be back.
Well, we are excited to have you back. The last time you were on with us, we knocked it out of the park. We talked about,
Yes.
we made apple pie tacos that were surprisingly amazing and not that difficult.
Yes.
Not too difficult. I think we figured it out. So, and then I think we talked about the case up in, was it Connecticut?
Yes, Connecticut. Yes.
The lady who she went missing, and her husband, remember his longtime girlfriend helped him dispose of the body in all the dumpsters. And I can't remember their names, but I want to say her name was Jennifer Doulos. That's it. Yeah, and that was an awesome case. So today, Liz is going to bake with us, and it's my turn in the kitchen, which is not always my favorite time, but it's okay. And we're making something that another podcaster named Luke from Howdy Beans podcast, sent me. Howdy Beans.
Howdy, I'm Luke from the Howdy Beans podcast, a variety podcast where I look into topics each week into the world of pop culture, like book reviews, where I delve deep into the expanded universe of Doctor Who, or a movie review on the 1998 cult classic The Mummy, or if you're very lucky, I might take a peek under the hood of video games, both new and old. So what are you waiting for? Check out the Howdy Beans podcast now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else that you may find your podcast. And I'll see you very soon.
He sent this recipe for us to try. It's his absolute favorite. He is a podcaster across the pond in the UK, and they love their shortbread. So this is called Easy Millionaire Shortbread. I don't know which is easy, being the millionaire or making the shortbread. It's not a really complicated recipe, but when he sent it to us, it was all in measurements or in grams, because that's how they weigh their food out.
Oh, 8 grams, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to, cups.
And then we had to do this conversion, and it's just been I'm terrible at math, and I don't trust my calculator skills. So
1000%. Me neither.
Yes.
I'm yeah.
Yes. So Liz and I pre-baked our shortbread crust, and here's mine. Liz, you want to see? Yeah, look at you.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yours looks good. I didn't have a 9x9 square pan, so I used this, which is, I don't know, 8 8 by something, 8 by 10, or it just equaled out. I was like, that's close enough, right?
Yeah.
I'm a close enough kind of baker anyway. So we're going to get started on our caramel layer, which is going to be really, it's just a few ingredients. It is butter, brown sugar, and sweetened condensed milk. Not to be confused at all
Absolutely.
with condensed milk. It doesn't evaporated milk. So don't use that because it won't have any sugar. This full of sugar.
Yummy.
We love it.
Yummy.
So we're going to measure it
Okay, I'm
out.
going to turn my camera off as I go to the stove, but I'm here and I can hear you. I'm still
No
here.
problem. No problem. I am going to use this.
Yes, absolutely. It might be wet in the bottom. Just check it.
It does. I just don't do that. Do you have just a quarter cup somewhere?
Yes, not in there. In there. Yep.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the stack.
How much do you need?
Now, do we combine everything at one time or do we melt the butter first?
I think it says melt your butter and brown sugar together.
Okay.
So that is going to be a half a cup of butter, which I'll go ahead and start. And it says to do it on medium high heat. So for me, put it on like around 6 or 7. I'm not doing this one.
And while these girls are baking up yummies in the kitchen, I'm going to talk about a murder case.
Yes, you are.
And it's a murder case that went to court last week, as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
Another South Carolina.
Oh, we got it going on in South Carolina these days, guys.
Yeah. Getting things done in the courts around here. So this case is about the murder of Greg Rice. And it's funny because I know we had to postpone this episode a couple of times because of scheduling and weather situations. But when I first read it, the trial had just started. So I didn't know the outcome, but by the end of this, you're going to know the outcome. Love it. So Gregory Rice was last seen October 2nd, 2020. He was the father of 4 children who he shared with his estranged girlfriend, Meaghan Jackson. And he and Meaghan Jackson had been split up, I think, for like 10 or so months. And Meaghan's job, she worked for a body transport company. I had no idea there was such a thing, but now I know.
Right.
There is a body transport company.
How do I apply for that job?
And that person goes to like the funeral home or to the morgue and they transport bodies back and forth. That's what they do. They just transport bodies to where they need to go.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, God bless them, because somebody's got to do it, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the one doing that. So, I mean, I'm happy that there are people out there that are okay with it.
Yeah. Now, when all of this stuff is going down, Meaghan is having an affair with the deputy coroner for Horry County. And Horry County is in the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. So, so when I say she was having an affair, not cheating on Greg because they were separated, but she was the mistress of the deputy coroner. And his name is Chris Dontel. Chris was married and he had 2 young children.
How old were his children? Did it say? No, that he and his wife had just recently had a baby.
Yeah, very young. Well, yes, because when he and Meaghan Jackson started hanging out, when we first met, she was helping him move from one house to another house. And his wife couldn't help with the move because she was pregnant.
Wait, she was helping him move or he was helping her move?
Meaghan was helping Chris move boxes.
Okay.
Because Chris's wife couldn't move boxes because she was pregnant.
And they had just had a baby and they were moving into a new house?
She was pregnant.
Okay, right. She was pregnant and they were moving into a new house?
They moved to a new house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's why Meaghan offered to help.
Okay.
And then Meaghan kind of inserted herself into this family where she would come over and hang out with them all the time. Like, she just kind of became part of their family. And in the process of all of that, she and Chris started to hang out and do more than hanging out.
I was gonna say they were hanging out.
They were
Like
they were
things were hanging out.
Yes. Things
Yes.
hanging out and some uglies being bumped.
Oh, not bumping uglies. Oh, come on, guys. Hey, just real quick, how is your sugar and brown sugar? I mean, your butter and brown sugar looking over there, Liz?
It's looking good. I went and added the can of sweetened condensed milk, and I'm just stirring.
Okay. Yeah.
How was yours?
Dumping and stirring going.
Yes. Well, better than bumping uglies.
And Kieran is, bless her, having a sidestep trout. I can hear his
Yes.
little paws in the
He
kitchen.
is. Like everywhere I leave, he gets right back in that spot.
He just wants to make sure you don't drop anything.
So my recipe calls for 2 cans of equal braid milk. Does yours call for 2 cans or 1?
I wasn't sure. So my can is 14 ounces. I have 2. Should I add 2?
I think it wants 2. If you have enough,
Okay, I'm gonna add it.
I think it'll be okay. But
Okay, I have a second one. I'm gonna add it.
okay. Ooh, that stuff is.
There's bubbling. There's a brewing in the bubbling.
Oh my gosh, it's like a witch's brew.
Okay, so the way Chris tells it, he and Meaghan, would go have lunch together or whatever, and he had a certain Mexican restaurant that he hung out all the time, and she started hanging out there all the time.
In Horry County?
Yeah.
Did it say which one it was?
It did, but it didn't ring a bell for me.
Okay.
It wasn't the one that you liked to go to.
No, there's another one in Horry County called El Patio.
No, it's not that one.
And then there's a Burrito Loco or something.
No, not that one. There must be a lot of Mexican
There's a lot,
restaurants.
and my daughter went to school in that area, so I know all the Mexican restaurant bars.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, the way Chris tells it, Meaghan kind of threw herself at him, where she came up to him one night at the restaurant and said, "I need to talk to you outside." And they went and got in her van, which is also the van that she transports bodies in.
Oh.
And, she drove somewhere, and he's like, "What is happening? Where are we going?" And she pulls over at one point and looked at him and said, "Have you ever cheated on your wife?" And he said, "No, never." And she said, "Well, you're about to." And then I think she strapped. So, and then he pushed her off. So he says he pushed her off and resisted her, but then he gave in.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's his story.
She forced herself on me, and I outweigh her by probably 80 pounds, but she overcame me, and I just gave in.
I gave in.
Right.
Choice.
Yeah.
So, on October 2nd, this Greg Rice goes missing, and Meaghan is the one that reports him missing to the police. And she tells them, he's really good about coming and picking the kids up, and he didn't show up for visitation, so I think he might be missing. The police start to investigate into where Greg could possibly be, and they discover that Meaghan is having this affair with the deputy coroner, Chris. So they start to pull cell phone records for Meaghan and for Greg and for Chris. And the first thing that raises a red flag is that Meaghan is the last person that Greg spoke to. They continue to investigate and dig, and they're starting to put some pieces together when a call comes in, and this woman named Donna Sue.
Donna Sue. Because we're in the South, girl.
That's right. Well, listen to what Donna Sue was doing. Donna Sue had been out setting catfish lines.
Of course she was.
On the Little Petey River.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
In the middle of the night. So for people that don't really know about catfishing, you bait your line and then you go and tie it to like a tree limb or something, so the line and the bait hangs in the water, and you set it Like catfish are real active at night, and then you go back a few hours later and you check your lines, and that's how you get your catfish.
Yeah, and the bait usually is touching the bottom
Mhm.
because they tend to be bottom dwellers or
Mm-hmm.
bottom feeders, and so that's kind of why you do it. But you do it at night because they don't like the light, like
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
They like the dark. Those catfish.
They're weird looking. You can
Much
tell
like
they like the
murderers.
dark because they're
Much
weird,
like the
and
murderers.
much like
They
murderers.
are.
So Donna Sue calls up and she's like, hey, my brother and I were out setting lines for catfish, and we've come across what we think is a dead body wrapped in a tarp.
No.
Yes.
That's gross.
So she kind of describes it as when you got kind of close to it, there was a smell that would kind of knock you out. It was just a smell that you knew something had died. And she could see part of clothing from a person because the tarp was open just a little bit. So she knew there was
Mhm.
probably a dead body in it.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a pause.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to pour my caramel onto my shortbread. Are you
Okay.
at that point? Are you at that point, Liz?
I think so. I was just about to ask. It's definitely thicker. So I'm
And-
going to turn it off.
Yeah, me too. And then it's thicker and it turned a little bit darker. Mine's not very dark.
Same.
Okay. All right. I think we're safe to pour it. So I'm pouring.
Okay. Do I have to let it cool a little bit or just pour it on there?
I pour it and then
All right.
it can cool a little.
All right. I'm coming back over.
Okay.
Looking at it coming out of the pan, it looks like caramel.
Yeah. Mine's got some flecks in it that I think might be brown sugar.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Same. Okay. All right. So I'm
Okay.
pouring.
Yeah, and I couldn't use all of mine or I would overflow.
Right.
I'm about to be in the same situation. Okay.
That's
So,
fine.
okay.
That's fine. If I were to make
Yeah,
this
I'm
again, I probably would only put 1 can. I don't know. I think you need like 1.5 cans of Eagle brand milk. But that's okay. I think this is gonna work. And then it just
that
says
looks good.
make it even.
Okay.
And then it says allow to cool and set. So I'm actually gonna throw mine in the refrigerator to try to get that process going.
All right. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Oh.
Well, I'm glad I'm making this with y'all because I'm not the best baker, but I feel confident. I'm like, okay,
We have a lot of confidence in you.
We do. We really do.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Where is my necklace heart? It's like all twisted.
You have a twisted heart.
I have a twisted heart. Yeah, that's not the only thing twisted. All right. Keep going, sugar.
Oh, okay. All right. So they call the police, and this is where things get a little bit tricky because you think
Mhm.
about this, they were kind of on the line between Horry County and I think it was Marion County, maybe.
Could be.
And when you're in a river, you don't necessarily know where your county lines are, right?
That's true.
So the police come out and they're like, okay, first thing we need to do is just get the body out. Doesn't matter whose county it is, whose jurisdiction it is, whoever shows up first, let's just get the body out of the water. Well, darn if this tarp wasn't snagged on a root, because in this little PD river, there are these big cypress trees, and they've got this root system that is just enormous. And somehow this tarp that had been wrapped with a ratchet strap.
Oh, I hate those.
A ratchet strap, or if the ladies are listening, and or maybe some men that don't know what a ratchet strap is. It's a strap that you wrap around something, and it's got like this little metal thing on it, and you pump it.
That's exactly the sound. That's exactly the sound.
And it makes it tighter, so it gets real tight around whatever you're trying. Like most people would use it to strap something down in their truck or in the back of their trunk. or for dead bodies, whichever.
Whatever.
So the police are trying, and you have to know, oh my gosh, number one, you're in South Carolina. It's the middle of the freaking night. It's October, but actually this has been 5 weeks later. So it was November when they found this body.
Mm,
And even in November, it's humid in South Carolina.
yes.
And buggy. So I'm sure, I just can't even
Especially by
imagine.
the river.
Yes. So it took them a long time. They couldn't figure out how to get this body out of the water. It really took them a long time to figure it out. And then they figured out as they finally get it unhooked from one of the roots that the darn thing had a cement block in it.
Oh.
So it was a body wrapped in a big tarp with a ratchet.
Seems
strapped
very
around it.
intentional.
Yes.
Not just
Yes.
he fell into a tarp.
He fell into
Yes.
a tarp,
Drowned.
accidentally fell over the boat. and
No,
drowned.
he
And
didn't.
he also fell into a tarp that had a ratchet strap around it and zip ties around it and a cement cinder block
Yeah.
inside of it. So
Hold on. Can you just hold on?
yeah,
Okay. I need to pause just for a second. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
that's okay. So they finally get this body out and onto this boat, and they take it to the shore, and that's kind of when people are like, okay, who does it belong to? Does it belong to this county? Does it belong to this county? Well, one of the counties didn't have like a big crime scene investigative unit. So the decision was made, okay, we're gonna give it to Horry County because they've got more manpower and the right equipment and the right people to come and investigate what happened to this man. And at the time, they didn't know who it was. It was just a body in a river, right?
Uh-huh.
It didn't take long, though, for them to identify the remains of Greg Rice.
Oh, Greg.
I've got to figure out where I was because I've stopped and started
Sorry.
and stopped and started and
You got this.
okay. All right, so the first thing you're going to start off with an investigator, possibly, is, okay, I'm seeing a body. It's in a tarp. It's got a ratchet strap. It's got zip ties and a cinder block. I'm wondering if maybe somebody didn't go to like a home improvement store or something and buy what we would call a murder dump kit.
Mm-hmm.
Start looking around.
Not to be confused with a dump cake.
No,
Completely different store.
yeah,
Different
not a
store.
dump cake, but a dump
No.
kit. Murder.
A murder dump kit to dump a body, but a dump cake is so much better.
No. Yeah. Yes. A dump cake is, and you can murder a dump cake. Like you.
Oh.
Way to go! You murdered it. You killed it.
Or like I can really mess it up.
Or you can mess it up, or you eat it, and it's like, oh, I killed that cake.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but no, it was a murder.
Right?
Dump
Without the
kit.
murder. Murder
right.
charge.
So they go to the local Lowe's home improvement store and talk to the security officer, and the security officer looks at like October 2nd. He's going through everything. That's October 3rd. They're going over everything, and bam, there's Chris Dontel in the Lowe's home improvement store, and he's playing, guess what, a tarp.
I wonder if they knew who he was.
I think that already suspicions because they knew that Meaghan and Chris were having an affair.
Oh, okay.
So they were looking specifically for Meaghan and Chris.
Okay.
At this.
That makes sense.
Surveillance.
Yeah.
Or security tape. So Chris buys the tarp, the zip ties, the ratchet strap, the cinder block, and got himself a Pepsi.
Well, of course.
A Pepsi Zero. I think it was a Pepsi Zero. You gotta watch
You have to watch your weight when you're dumping a body.
And having an affair.
Yes, that's true. He's busy bumping uglies in the death van.
Right. So now they can also see from cell phone records where the phones are pinging, and his phone is pinging at that Lowe's. So it's like, yep, that's where he was. That's what he was doing on that day. So then the police start looking at the route from Chris's neighborhood to Lowe's to the Little PD River, and they find video footage. This neighborhood, this HOA had actually had video cameras in the neighborhood. So they find video footage of Chris's work vehicle, which I guess they just drive around. Who knew?
Oh, but it's got
He
It's got
was not
dead
wise
juju.
at all.
This is
Yeah.
just
I
gross.
think they use it as like their personal vehicle.
No.
It's weird.
Like you put your kids in there?
I don't know if he puts his kids in there or not, but
That's got dead juju all in it.
yeah,
You'd have to sage it like every time you took a body out of it.
I would. That's what I would.
Me too.
So anyway, they see that Chris's work vehicle. They leave the neighborhood. They can actually follow it along and see where it pings, and it pings over at Little Petey River. So they're like, okay, well, where's Meaghan Jackson's phone? And they use a license plate reader in this neighborhood. I guess the HOA was like, oh, we're gonna get a license plate.
Wonder how much this HOA
I
costs.
don't know.
Whew.
Here's the thing: how much is the deputy coroner making in Horry County?
I mean,
Fair, yeah.
I think he had a couple of jobs, but I also think that I thought that he and his wife had been having financial troubles. Maybe it's because he's sporting this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I know that they were having some financial strains. I don't think that he knew.
Right.
I don't think he cared. I think he was the financial strain.
Right, maybe.
Yeah.
That could very well be.
Yeah.
And and Meaghan Jackson had moved into his neighborhood.
How
Oh,
diabolical.
So then
My question is, did she move in before the affair started, or did she move in after the affair started? That is so gross.
Right.
Welcome to the trailer for Gaming Views. Think of it as the demo level before the real action kicks off.
We're Dan, and every week we're bringing hot takes, breaking news, deep dives, and everything gaming related.
From the biggest headlines to retro classics, hardware breakdowns, and inside scoops on developers, we cover it all.
So level up your gaming knowledge, subscribe to Gaming Views wherever you get your podcasts, and don't miss out.
And shame on him. I think he thought he was going to start his own sister wives.
I don't know what.
And he was all
Well, I
wrong.
think
He was like, oh, well, we'll just all live in this neighborhood. I'll just keep collecting them and putting them in this neighborhood. And then I can just go visit whomever I want, whenever I want.
I guess so.
and was he paying for her to live there, or like was she paying?
No,
which makes you wonder how much do people who transport bodies make?
honestly, they should make a lot of money. I'm not kidding. That's a gross job.
Oh my lord!
That you would have to pay me $1 million a body.
I don't think that's not.
Do they pay per body, or do they just put you on salary?
I do not know. I do not know. But people in the dead body business in Horry County are making pretty darn good money.
We might have to get like one of those corners from Horry County on to talk about how are you getting rich?
Yes.
I bet they'll be like,
They're not going to tell their secret. No.
Okay, so they see that Meaghan and Chris are moving in the same areas at the same time. So let's talk a little bit about some cell phone records for a minute. On October the 2nd, 2020, Greg's phone pinged at his apartment. He was at his apartment at 10 o'clock. And he, I think, okay, so he's there. Okay. Then, from there at 10:06, his cell phone heads in the direction of this Myrtle Beach funeral home, which is kind of weird, right? That his phone is a funeral home. And then at 11:06 p.m., it turns off and never comes back on. Meaghan Jackson's cell phone pings at Greg's apartment complex at 10 o'clock, same time we knew Greg was home, and then leaves and heads to that same Myrtle Beach funeral
Oh no.
at 10:06, right? She stops and hangs out for about 30 minutes, and then she starts to move again. Chris Dontel's phone makes the exact same movements.
So they're together now.
So they were together. They went to Greg's. They left. All three of them left Greg's and went to this Myrtle Beach funeral home. And then Greg's phone dies
and doesn't come back on
and
ever.
doesn't come back on ever. Right. On October 3rd, cell phone records show that Chris is at Lowe's. We've got that. He's on film. October the 4th, Chris's phone is in the area where Greg's body was found. So he's in deep stuff. And then Chris's wife the police start asking her questions like, are you aware that your husband is having an affair? And she's like, yes, I recently found out from anonymous messages to my phone. And she's detailing how Meaghan has infiltrated her into their life. And she and Meaghan were really good friends. She thought Meaghan
so
was
gross.
a really, really good friend. And she also finds out during these anonymous messages that Meaghan is pregnant with Chris's child.
Oh, the dirty deeds.
Oh,
The
wow.
Let me tell you, that
The
is
plot just keeps thickening.
it,
Right.
doesn't it? Like thickens like caramel sauce.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So as this trial is going on, the forensic pathologist comes on, and she's the one that examined Greg's body after it was pulled from the river. She confirms that Greg had been shot 5 to 6 times, 5 times for sure, but 6 was in an area where there had been some maggot activity.
Oh,
And she wasn't
no.
sure if that hole was from maggot activity or from a bullet. So five times for sure. The
Mm-hmm.
6th time, maggot, bullet, not sure.
Okay.
He had been shot once in the chest, once in the head, twice in the left hip, and once in the right thigh. So he was obviously running, right?
yeah. Running away or running towards?
I'm thinking he was probably running away.
So how's it hitting him in the thigh? In the back?
Oh, the back.
Oh, the first shot. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So that's what the forensic pathologist has found in her examination. So now, we just kind of need to piece everything together, right? Well, obviously, they've arrested Chris, and they've arrested Meaghan because they suspect that Meaghan is also somehow involved, but they're not 100%
Right.
sure on the Meaghan thing. So they get all ready to roll. Everything was going. September the 9th, 2021, Chris goes to trial for this case. Okay. And I know it seems like I'm kind of jumping around. I'm going to get back to some things, but this is important. The jury has been picked. It's day 1 of the trial. They're ready to do their opening remarks. And Chris stands up and says, I'm going to change my plea.
Oh, courtroom drama.
Courtroom drama. Dun, dun, dun.
Was that
Right.
on TV? Was it televised?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know if Chris Sontel's was televised.
That is some courtroom drama
go
right
and
there.
see that
Yeah.
part. I know the part where he changes his plea to guilty. I know that part is on, but I don't know if the opening statements was captured on CourtTV or not.
Okay.
So he changes his plea to guilty, and then they dismiss court. Jurors sent home, dismiss court, and his attorney then starts to negotiate with the prosecutors because he is, he's going to say he's afraid of Meaghan Jackson, and he's afraid of what he could do to his family.
What she could do
to his family. So he wants the prosecutor's office to set up some kind of system where his family is protected.
Wow.
So they say, okay, we'd be willing to do this, but you're going to have to turn state's evidence on her. You're going to have to tell us what happened. What exactly happened?
Wow.
And he said, you get that in place, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. And they did. They had a system where Meaghan was out on bond, but she was tethered. So anytime she came within a certain radius of anybody in his family, an alarm would go off, and the police would go get her.
Oh, okay.
She was told she was not allowed to get anywhere close to anybody in his family, the wife, the children, relatives, nobody.
And she lives in their neighborhood.
She lives in their
I was
neighborhood.
going to say she lives in.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Right.
You stay on your side of the neighborhood, we'll stay on ours.
Exactly.
And don't
She
drive by
just
my
has to
house.
stay. She has to just stay in her house. If they go
I
out, she's
agree.
in trouble.
I completely
I
agree.
think when you're accused of murder, that you shouldn't get out on bond. I just don't think that should be.
Wait,
Oh,
right,
I know
right.
innocent until proven guilty,
girl,
but
you make me, that worries me.
innocent until proven guilty. I get it, but murder is serious.
I agree.
Or-
It's serious, but it could also be wrong.
It could be very wrong. But
This is
still,
true.
And I got to go to Publix. I got to get my groceries. I got to get my groceries.
I understand, but what if it's right?
But what if it's wrong? And those people are now tethered. And some of these trials take years to go to court.
They do. Don't murder.
I mean, how's she supposed to go dress shopping?
I understand. Well, from what she wore in
But this
court,
seems like her life was not, she was
She
not
wore the
putting
same
her
thing
life on
every day.
pause.
Wait, what?
It seemed like she was not putting her life on pause. She's like, I know I did what I did, but I'm
I
just
got to
like,
get my
I gotta
nails
live.
done because I got to pick up dead bodies with nice nails.
that's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, she got to go get her van cleaned.
That's right.
Ooh.
So they make a deal with Chris. They've got this set up and they say, okay, well, when we go to trial for Meaghan Jackson, you're going to be called to testify. And by the way, you're going to go ahead to jail. Like, and you're not getting out on bond.
there's no
You're going
tethering.
to jail because you're guilty and you're going to jail. But we're not going to sentence you until after her trial because you've got to show us that you're going to be honest.
Fair, okay, fair.
So
But you can't always trust murderers. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, I mean, we have just found out that a lot of murderers, they tend to lie on top of
it's
murdering.
the darndest thing.
Yeah.
So on day 2 of Meaghan Jackson's trial, Chris Dontel is called to the stand. And he gets up there and he talks about, you know, how he and Meaghan hooked up, how they connected. He's actually the one that got Meaghan her job as a transporter because he had that job and then he was promoted to deputy coroner.
So they knew each other for a while.
They did know each other for a while, it seemed.
They can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Just don't let your spouse get familiar with other women. Like, you just got to put your foot down. I know you're a deputy coroner, but I'm going to need you to report to work at the monk monastery
Exactly.
every day and work out of there.
Yeah,
we're going to send him to the Abbey so that that will be where your office is.
And maybe that would be a good idea for people that are on bond for murder.
Make them, you will not be tethered,
You'll be at
but you'll be at
Meaghan.
Meaghan Abbey with the
Yes.
monks who have taken vows of silence.
And they grow their own mushrooms.
Yeah.
They make their own fruitcake.
They do.
There's
I mean,
plenty
there's
do
lots
there.
to do. They have a store you can work in.
Plenty to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if Meaghan Abbey is okay with us saying that we need to have criminals there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're probably not gonna be invited to go to their
That just makes me mad.
big
But
crash.
that's the best place to learn coping skills. You can be calm and
agree.
serene.
It is so calm out there. It's just lovely. All right, so
I think we need about 5 more minutes on the caramel cooling.
Cool.
you didn't put in the blast chiller.
We don't have a blast chiller. But if anybody out there wants to sponsor us and give us a blast chiller, then we will just say what that blast chiller is every day.
Oh yeah.
We'll just promote the heck out of
What
it.
the heck? Love my blah blah blah
And if
chiller.
Duff Goldman is listening or watching, which I'm sure he
Of
does,
course. he-
could you
Of
just
course.
donate us a blast chiller? We'll take one of his old ones, like a hand-me-down.
I mean, they give them to the kids on.
They
those
give them
kids,
to
but
those kids. They don't
win.
need those
What's they putting it
in their
bedroom?
garage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, come
It's
on.
probably in storage right now.
It's in storage, or their parents hawked it and they took them to Disney.
You are so-
Yeah, that's what they did. You know,
Oh,
That's
mom's
smart.
like, I
Yep.
don't need another thing in this kitchen. We're going to Disney
putting the blast chiller on
on
eBay.
Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace.
Oh my God.
First, Duff, will you sign the box?
Right.
Split it on Marketplace.
Get Duff to sign every single thing you win.
Yes, and then we'll just sell it. We're going to Disney.
First class all the way.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the story because I know we're all dying to know what really happened to Greg, right? The way Chris tells it, on the day of the murder, Meaghan Jackson told him that she had to go to Greg's apartment and that she feared he was going to hurt her. Now, this man with text messages was not, he basically went to work and took care of his children.
And she is horrible on this text. She is so toxic and vile on those text
Thanks
messages.
for being an ass.
She's so, and he's just, I mean, he keeps it together. He doesn't usually tangle with her on
No.
those text
Wow.
messages that we could see. So she's painted him as this abusive, toxic person who's always after her and he stalks her and stuff. That's not what I got. That I got that he's just a hardworking guy trying to take care of his kids and get through this divorce with this, not divorce, because they're like they were girlfriend and boyfriend.
He's trying to figure out how to co-parent.
He's co-parenting and he loves his kids and he loves to spend time with his kids.
Right.
But he also needs to provide for his kids.
Yes. And there had been a tumultuous period because she went on this big trip. She took Chris's family, like they went on this big trip somewhere and she paid for it because she'd gotten like a bonus or somehow come into some money. I'm not 100% sure how that happened. And she told Greg that she would be back on a certain day and she just no-showed and he couldn't go to work.
Isn't that when
Oh.
Greg went with her daughter and her daughter's friend? Is that when they went to Ohio? Chris.
Yes.
So it wasn't Chris's family. It was,
But somehow they ended up in Florida.
oh,
It was like, oh, I thought you were in Ohio. Why are you in Florida?
right. Yeah.
So I think she had left Ohio and gone to Florida. And I don't,
To meet Chris's wife and Chris, and because I think Chris was with her the whole time.
I think so too. Anyway, however it happened, Greg's job was in jeopardy and he's frustrated, but he never says, you know, bitch, I'm gonna kill you, or if you don't come home, I'm gonna strangle you to death, or nothing of that. Just like I'm
gonna
you're
lose
on
my
my
job.
last nerve.
And I'm
Like,
gonna lose my job.
I'm
And
gonna
I
lose my
love
job.
my kids, but I need to report to my job and I'm gonna lose my job if you don't come home.
Right. And she's like,
Wow.
"Thanks for being an asshole down there."
Yeah, and she answers, thanks for being an asshole.
Wow.
We're literally on vacation. I've got all 4 of our children.
But she's telling him she's on a work function. But
Right.
what work function gets extended? Like when you have a conference, there's a beginning and an ending.
Correct.
And then she's like coming home 4 days later. I'm like, what? The conference doesn't go, we're having so much fun, we're just gonna stay.
Yeah, we're at the
Right.
body conference.
We're at the body conference.
So, and I'm gonna want to know what hotel, what convention center was having
Exactly.
this conference, because I need to make sure
And I
I'm
guess
there that week. 'Cause
all
those people are crazy.
All the body buggy drivers are there.
The body buggy driver.
What do you do for a living? I drive a body buggy.
A body buggy. So, and she had told Chris, you know, he's so awful. He's just a terrible, terrible person. So he's, you know, and Chris like, listen, I'm not interested in getting involved in your drama with him. Like you go do that. I'm just leave me out of it. She said, no, you have to come with me this time. And you have to drive my van. So, just from watching Chris on the stand, I'm thinking maybe he doesn't have like the strongest backbone. And he's like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll go. I'll drive your van. So they go over to Greg's, and I think Greg, for whatever reason, was walking down the road when they came up, and she had Chris pass by, turn around, like do a U-turn and come back. So they were facing him as he's walking toward them. And Chris says they stop. Meaghan opens the door, jumps out, pulls out a gun, fires off 6 shots. Greg falls to the ground. She looks at Chris and says, you got to help me get this body in the van.
And she
That's how
names.
he got shot in because she surprised him. He didn't have time to. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So Chris like, I had no idea that she was going to do this. I was like, I've never seen somebody do that before. I was so caught off guard. He's like, so it took me a minute. And she's like screaming at him, you idiot, like get out.
MFer and she's just like berating him. And he's in shock.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay. So they load this body. Now, I know it seems like, you know, they have to load this body, but remember, she's in her work van. So it's got this special little gurney thing that's electric. So it's probably not as hard as you might think to load this body. But so they load it in, and he's like, what the hell just happened? She's like, we've got to go put this body somewhere. And that's when they head over to this Myrtle Beach funeral home. Now, because he's the deputy coroner and she's the body transporter, they have after hours access to most of the funeral homes.
Because they drop off bodies because they drive the body.
Right. And this particular, I think most of them, I'm pretty sure all of them, of the funeral homes have coolers to store dead bodies.
Well, they better.
And this one, no.
we just stick them outside.
We're just gonna stick them somewhere. Leave it in the back of the van. It'll be fine. October in South Carolina. October in South Carolina. It's good.
Yeah.
So they get to this funeral home, which makes sense because Greg's phone is pinged there, and both of their phones are pinged. They throw his body into one of the coolers, and then they leave and head back to Meaghan's house, where she proceeds to take a shower, and Chris hangs out with her daughter, and they watch TV and chat. So weird. So very weird.
Also, why not just cremate the body then?
I wondered the same thing, because this particular funeral home was primarily cremation.
But I don't think they don't have the right to use that. Like, it's not, they can put the bodies there, but I don't think they're the ones that shove it in the oven.
You don't know.
So, and you got to start it up. Like, I think there's more to it. I think you have to start it up. And if they don't know how to burn a body, they might have just been like, let's just stick it here and we'll get rid of it later.
To me, a deputy coroner and a body transporter, with everything that they work with, to me, I feel like they should have known how to get rid of a body better than throwing it.
Right? You would think that would be maybe it's not in like the coroner's manual, but like
I mean, you would think over the years you would just be interested, like, hey, how does this oven work? You want to show me that? I just want to see a body burn. I mean, I'm transporting all over,
right?
You know, and
put the body in the
and then go like
the door and say, hey, how does this work?
Yeah, I never solved this, and then just let it burn.
Something.
But
yeah, these two, they didn't have the.
First of all, I'm going to tell you, I don't think Chris Dontel's got a whole lot going on upstairs. He's not the sharpest crayon in the box. Sorry. Don't feel like he is.
No, he's not.
If he allowed himself to get into this situation, he's not too smart. He's thinking with the wrong
He was definitely
appendage.
thinking with the down below.
He was the southern appendage, not the northern appendage.
Right, the down.
And anything that happens below your shoulders, not good decision making from below your shoulders.
Very true.
At any time.
Very, very true.
No.
So the next day, Meaghan tells Chris, dude, you need to pull it together and go do something about this body. You got to go handle this. And you need to take it to a different county. Don't keep it in our county, because then they won't figure us out. That's when Chris goes to Lowe's. And buys
she should have handled it herself.
Yeah. Sometimes a woman just needs to take care of business, because the man, you got to give him really clear directions. And I don't think she did.
No, she didn't.
She just said, go get rid of the bat, take care of this. And he's like, oh, well, now how? I mean, I have
a Pepsi Zero.
Let me get a Pepsi Zero and maybe a pack of nabs and see if something comes to my head.
I'm just gonna walk around Lowe's and see what.
And he looked at power tools and he was like, no, can't do that. And wood chippers, he's like, no, can't do that. So yeah, he's walking around like, what aisle do you sell the body dumping?
Where's the body dumping kit? Yes, where can I get that? They should just have them made up for you already.
Yeah. No.
So that's when he goes back, he gets the body, he does his thing and dumps it in the river.
Okay, take a break. We're gonna do our chocolate.
Oh, chocolate.
I need a glass bowl.
Look, under there, like, you're gonna have to kind of really get down, because I think my plastic.
Get down, get loose.
Okay.
All right, so we're doing our chocolate.
Oh yes.
I just want to point out that it calls for 300 grams of chocolate to melt. And 300 grams is 10.582 ounces.
Oh.
My chocolate came in 10 ounces. So I'm going to be short 0.582, and I don't think anybody's going to know.
The aim. I'm eyeballing it, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's all good. So I'm going to do mine in the microwave, which means I'm going to do 30 seconds at a time. And when it's halfway done, I'm going to need a little, like a half a teaspoon of oil. Can you just point me in the direction of your oil?
Yeah, it's gonna trout.
It was the yoga mat.
Oh, gotcha. I have to have mats all over my floor, because Trout's got a bad neck issue and it
Oh,
slides on the hardwood floor. So I have mats everywhere to help him so he doesn't have to walk on the hardwood floor.
But it's
I
gonna
should
kill him
really
like
do that for my little guy. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be
Yes.
back and forth doing this thing.
Okay.
It's fine though.
All right. So now this is what Chris has told us on the stand. And of course, you know, the defense. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about this defense. It's a trio. It's 3 men
Oh my God.
that are Meaghan Jackson's attorneys.
Where did she
Okay.
find them?
It must be pretty good. But there's an older gentleman, he's the dad, and then there are 2 younger-ish gentlemen. One,
And by older, I'm thinking he's like in his early 70s.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
the 2 fellows are probably 50s or
50s and 40s.
yeah.
Yeah.
One's the younger brother, one's the older brother. So it's 2 sons and a father that are the defense attorneys.
Okay.
And the one brother, oh my good Lord, does not wear socks.
No.
Wears
What?
no socks.
Oh, no, gross.
So
You know, those shoes are stinking in the summer.
got on leather shoes and no socks in the summertime.
Yep.
Ugh. So they're very interesting characters because it's like they want to be real dramatic, so they come up,
Mm-hmm.
look like just your normal thing, and then they want to be like the gotcha guy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you mean to tell me you're scared of that little old Megan over there? You couldn't do anything to protect yourself, and just the way they handled it. To me
But
was-
she did, according to Chris, tell Chris, if you don't help me take care of this, I will kill you.
Oh, she definitely, according to Chris, she
And
threatened
threatened him and threatened his family.
Right,
So he was afraid.
right. And
Right.
it turns out that text messages did confirm that all the anonymous messages that Chris's wife was getting, they all
Mhm.
came from Megan's phone.
But she was the one, she was the anonymous.
She was the anonymous.
She's gross. She just trying to wreck people's lives. She's
Yeah.
a wrecking
Mhm.
ball.
It's a wrecking ball.
She's a wrecking ball.
Yeah,
Don't like her at all.
no,
I will beat
No.
her up with my spatula.
no. And I think when I think about the timeline and everything that happened, I think that she planned this out like
Months.
Right.
for a long time and was just looking for somebody dumb enough
Yeah.
to fall for it.
She
Right.
her web and just waited for some dumbass moth to fly into it.
Yeah.
And that was her.
Mm-hmm.
On the fly. Like, I don't think it was a
No.
last minute decision.
No, I think-
this was
Right.
very-
Think right up to the murder, and then she's like, and now I'm gonna make him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what was gonna happen? Was she gonna live happily ever after with Chris?
Well, yeah, I think that's what she wanted. That's
Mm.
why she said, you know, oh, Meaghan Jackson's pregnant. Meaghan Jackson's having an affair with your husband. Here's a bunch of pictures of the 2 of them together. Here's their text messages. I think that she was trying to break up their marriage. And here's the crazy
Wow.
she didn't. Even with this, with him confessing, they're still together.
Well,
Wow.
maybe for now they're together, but I think once he gets sentenced, she's gonna fly the
Oh,
coop. I'll help her out.
true.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
And I think you get an automatic divorce when your spouse goes to jail.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, for certain
Really?
crimes, yes, you do. You get an automatic.
Well, that would make sense. Like, if you're going to be in there for life, I mean, please don't make me do the court fees. Like, just we're done.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I read that somewhere that you get. There's like for a felony, you get an automatic divorce if you
Oh
want
my
it.
gosh, I wonder
Wow.
if they can get any kind of alimony or
Probably not.
child support.
Probably not.
So if you go to jail, you're just
Oh
automatic.
no, because the state would get it. Yeah.
I personally, I think it should be. I think they should have to pay. I don't know. We need to find. We need to find some attorneys that know these things.
Yeah, like once you're
Because the
incarcerated-
state, it costs the state to house you. So
Yeah.
they want to get in on their bill. So no, you can't get alimony, I would assume. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Unless they put you on a work program, but they don't make any money doing that. I mean, it's like pennies.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, to me, he should have to forfeit all of his assets to her.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm sure he did already.
That's
But
what
they
they.
lost their home, so they're not.
Yeah,
in the
because
same
she had to
town.
hire a defense attorney.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, y'all better put him in jail because he better be afraid of me, not Meaghan.
Oh my goodness. True that.
And don't even get me started on what I would do to Meaghan.
Oh yeah. Okay,
But for
so
the record, I'm not gonna, so don't anybody try reporting me.
oh my lord. So there's tons and tons of evidence that points to Megan's guilt, and of course Chris's guilt. But you tripped a little.
That's okay.
But it's not 100% because nobody was there, right? It was just Chris, Megan, and Greg. So she could come back and say, I didn't shoot him. He shot him. It wasn't me.
This is true.
In South Carolina, we have this hand of one, hand of all law.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's a law that basically says that if you're with another person for an unlawful person and then
For unlawful.
for an unlawful purpose,
Okay.
sorry, then you're criminally liable for the actions of the person that you're with.
Oh, so you
even
got to
if-
be mindful of the company you keep. Mhm.
Yes, that's why our moms always said that to us.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? Very smart.
The mom said it and then they put it into a law.
They put it into a law. That's right. So even if a jury felt that Chris is the one that pulled the trigger, which when you listen to him at the stand, I just don't believe that's something we can do. I mean,
Mhm.
they did shoot guns together,
He didn't shoot as often as her.
but I don't think it was his.
Mm.
Guns that day.
They had been the day that Greg was killed.
That's why I think this was all premeditated for
Yeah,
her.
because I think she wanted him to have that gunpowder residue on his
I think so
hand.
too. I think
Oh,
she's gonna probably frame him for this whole situation.
Yeah,
Oh, she's vile.
she's vile.
Mhm.
So okay, but because Megan and Chris were together, they're both guilty. So hand of one, hand of all, right?
right.
It took the jury 4 hours to convict her to find her guilty of murder. And they
Wow.
convicted her the same day.
Yeah, in South Carolina,
Wow.
a lot of times we find you guilty and then we tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
All on the same day. We don't come back.
Yeah, so she got made in prison.
Why give me the anxiety of coming back months and weeks later? Just tell me now.
Yeah, let's start. Let's start right now. So they found her guilty of murder and she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting ready to pour my chocolate on, Liz.
I poured mine and it's in the
I'm not gonna
fridge.
pour my chocolate on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour it onto my stuff.
I poured mine and it's in the fridge cooling.
Beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Now, see, I did not put parchment paper down, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be a challenge getting out. So we'll see. We're praying.
Yeah. You know what? It's fine because you can always just get a spoon and spoon it out like ice cream and make a
There we go.
But anyway, and I don't know if, I don't think it said this in the recipe, but I am going to finish mine off with some flake salt because after all, we're Americans and we love our salt.
Yes.
So, where is your Maldonado flakes?
They're in that pantry and I'll tell you where. They are on the.
I see. Right
No,
here?
that's empty.
Oh,
It's behind the coffee on the bottom shelf. See the coffee pods? There's popcorn sitting on top of the coffee pods.
Yes.
Oh, wow, it should be right behind here.
Yes. Okay. We have these.
Think of a break. A break. Now we're coming off the break.
We're on
We
that.
need
We
to
have these
get-
little. It's flake salt, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on top.
I have some sea salt, some coarse sea salt that I thought is a fantastic idea. Thank you.
I like my salty and sweet together. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe just a knife.
I'm gonna get a knife. I'm gonna get an open it.
A knife can opens.
Okay.
And now we're doing some sprinkling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There we go. Oh, I cannot wait to try this.
Hmm. No, I have a question.
Yeah.
What does investigating look like for all y'all? So, like, how did you find all this information? This seems like more than just a Google search.
Oh, yeah. So it was a little bit of a Google search, and then CourtTV. CourtTV showed her trial. It wasn't on like the main screen,
Yeah.
but CourtTV you can find on YouTube, and
Mm.
it showed all. I think it was just 3 days, 4 days
Yeah.
of the trial. They showed everything
Yeah.
on there. So I watch it and I take notes, take notes, take notes.
Nice.
So I've got like a little notebook, and
Mm.
all of it is
Girl, that caramel is nice.
all of it is
Isn't it?
notes I've taken, yeah. So okay, to round all of it out, Greg Rice's, remember they had 4 children together. Greg Rice's oldest son, not Meaghan's son, but his son
Okay.
from another relationship, is now has custody of the 4 children, his half siblings. So he's going
The
to
3
raise
of them. There's 3. Well,
there's 4.
there's 4 between the 2 of them plus.
Yes,
So there was a total of 6.
5.
She had 1 daughter or 2 daughters.
I don't know what I don't know.
Okay.
I believe she had 2 daughters, but
I
I'm
think
not
she did
100%
too.
sure.
Hmm.
So it was a total of 4 children,
That's crazy.
and then there's another oldest sibling
Yeah.
that is raising his half siblings.
Yep.
Yep. And one of Meaghan's daughters did testify against her mother.
That was
Oh.
wild.
I've never seen somebody her age, and what do you think? She was maybe 18?
19. I think she was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever witnessed somebody so brave as
Yeah.
this young lady.
And distraught.
She was
Distraught.
physically shaking, and she was physically distraught for
Like
sure.
half the time she couldn't even get her voice to come out.
Yeah,
Because
you
Oh.
could just see the
That was
struggle,
so
but she was determined
Tears.
that
Just
she was going to go in and tell her story.
And she did.
And she did it. She made it through.
And her mother never even blinked an eye. Her baby is up there having panic attack after panic attack and talking about this. But Meaghan, she even brought her daughter in on the fact that she was pregnant with Chris's child, supposedly, because she had Savannah help her take all these pregnancy tests, and they took the pictures and
Oh,
sent
she's
them to
just like a
her. She was
sociopath.
charting them.
Yeah.
Like she brought her daughter in on that. Like, what is wrong with you? That is a true narcissist. Like everybody in Meaghan's life is only there to serve her.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
That they're only there for her purpose.
Yeah.
And I just felt so bad. There was no emotion on Meaghan's face whatsoever. And I'm like, what kind of a mother can sit there? I just wanted to go hug that little girl so bad. And then the only time she got animated was when Chris was on the stand.
I know, right?
Yeah, and she's like making faces and all this kind of stuff. Like she's got sour grapes against him.
I know.
And then Chris's wife was on the stand, and that was just so horrible because this destroyed her.
I mean,
She had
freight
no
train
idea
right through her life, right?
when she didn't even have a train ticket.
She didn't have a ticket.
Mm-mm.
She didn't want to get on the train.
No, because Meaghan was driving the crazy train.
1000%.
Yes. All right, our stuff is in the fridge and it's got to cool for a little bit. So
Okay.
drag it out, girl. Let's chit chat.
Okay.
Not to put you on the spot at all, but
I have like 15 pages of notes, and now I need to drag it out.
because when Chris got up there on the stand, he was very emotional whenever he talked about his wife and his kids. He was really afraid. He was afraid that Meaghan was going to do something to his family, and he was terrified of her. And he did a couple times. He cried. He talked about, I think it was very distressing for him to have to get rid of this body. I think it just went against everything that he believes in. And I think he was, I don't know if he was remorseful as much as he just was still in such shock.
I think he was removed. I do. I really
I think
he was
he's remorseful for getting
her.
himself and his family hooked
Yes,
into
this was
Meaghan.
a total fatal attraction situation.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, Fatal Attraction.
Yes,
where
because she was
got
just
there with a complete crazy woman.
Yep, and didn't know it. And then he's in over his head, and then she's murdered her ex, and then he's involved in all of this, and he's trying to figure out how to protect his family and not tell his wife. I've been boinking the neighbor.
Oh, and the day of the murder, once they're at the funeral home, Meaghan leaves to go to the bathroom and comes back and says she's had a miscarriage.
Yeah, 20 minutes. She was gone 20 minutes.
She's like, it's your lucky day. I've had a miscarriage and my ex is dead.
There's no way that she was pregnant.
No way.
That was a
I was
lie.
going to say, she was like never pregnant. Wow,
No.
she's just a master manipulator.
Right?
Very much so. I think it was her other way of trying to get her claws into Chris so he would leave his wife. Why? I don't know. I don't think she loved Chris.
I don't
I
think
think
Meaghan
Chris
Jackson loves anybody. I
but
think it's
herself.
How can you serve me?
Yeah.
Correct.
And honestly, I think if this had gone as she planned it, I think that she was trying to frame Chris for this.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed that way. I don't know if she's that clever to be able to do it, but it definitely, when they said that they had both gone to the shooting range the day of and both been shooting guns, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
She's not
yeah,
as clever as
it's a
she thinks
murder.
she is, but I think her narcissism makes her think like I can get away with this.
Oh, I think she
Yes.
always thinks that she's the smartest person in the room,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. So, but I didn't like her defense when they cross-examined Chris. They really went after him. And and I
Wow.
just thought it was really inappropriate the way they treated him. Yes, I know that he's in shackles and he's in jail and but I also think that his confession is what helped put Meaghan really seal the deal for putting Meaghan away. And the defense attorney was like, "Are you going to cry again?" Like he gets up there and goes, "Are you going to cry again?" And I'm just like, who even acts that way? It does not endear you to the person that's being a bully.
No, and I think he tried. So it was the older gentleman that questioned the lawyer dad. And he started off by giving Chris something to read.
Okay.
And of course, Chris is a prisoner. He's come in his prison getup.
Oh,
And
okay.
He's shackled.
His ankles are shackled or cuffed, and his hands are cuffed, and it's all shackled together. So he's like reaching up to grab things out of this attorney's hands, and the attorney's like, "Judge, he's still in handcuffs. You need to remove this man's handcuffs so that he can read." Like, so it seems like he's going to be sympathetic, and then
I think it was just to point out he's in handcuffs.
I think he just wanted to point out,
Yeah, and then he was like, and then he said, "Are you telling me you're afraid of little Meaghan Jackson?" And the guy, and Chris was like, "Actually, I am, because I watched her murder a person in cold blood." And then turned to me and said, "If you don't help me,
for children."
yes, and if you don't help me, then I'm gonna take you out too." And he's probably like, I might have had a little
The proof is in the pudding. I just seen you do
in
it.
my pants.
Yeah.
I might have had some potty in my pants. I might have poo-pooed, and I was like, I gotta get through this. So I mean, he was emotional, but I just felt like that defense attorney was such a bully to him, and I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah.
But I get it. They're mad at him because he's telling the truth, and they didn't want the truth told.
Well, that's the defense attorney's job, is to try and make the person on the stand like that look bad.
Yeah, and to
Like,
question
right? Really, seriously,
questioning their. But I found him to be very credible.
I thought so too, and we've watched a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at work, I have CourtTV going all day. I just have my little earbuds in. I'm doing all my work, and I'm listening to cases. So we've watched a lot of cases, and I felt like he was believable.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. So anyway,
And she chose not to testify, of course.
they didn't even present any witnesses.
No, that was another thing. The defense didn't present any witnesses, zero.
I mean, what are you going to say? Like, there's nothing. Like, what are you going to say?
I don't know.
I mean, after your kid's done testified against you, I mean.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get up there and say, "Well, my daughter's a liar."
Right.
No, there was nothing.
Oh, that
And
would
I
be
swear-
cold-blooded.
Yeah, and I'm surprised she didn't take that opportunity, but she didn't. And I swear, I think she wore the same thing to court every day.
Except the last day
except
she
for
wore
the
black.
last day, and that was bad luck for her.
She wore black, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess she was already in mourning for her life.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if her attorneys were like, today you wear black.
So I wonder who has her kids. Oh, wait, you already told me.
I did.
You told me that.
I did.
And I don't need to ask that question anymore.
No.
Because I already know the answer.
You know the answer.
Daggone it. This is senioritis.
It happens. It happens.
Yes. Okay. So we have a little bit of time, Liz, and I think that you can maybe take this opportunity to tell us about what you're doing and all the exciting things that you're conquering in your life.
Yeah, talk to us about coaching.
Yeah, we need a coach.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you about everything. So I'll start with coaching, and then we'll end with a little bit of mystery and murder. So
Ooh,
um,
okay. You know
with
that
the
we love that.
Right. So with the coaching, I help creatives basically blend the wellness with their projects. So helping them to overcome imposter syndrome, perfectionism, helping them build healthy routines so that it's sustainable. My approach, like, I don't like how some coaches like do my 5-step program because that doesn't always work. I'm a person where it's like, I need you to hold my hand. I need you to make something that's custom. And so you come and you have your consultation. We explore what your goals are and really think about what that plan is to get you there. You can purchase one session, like so. I'll tell you about Kickstarter in a minute, but if you're like, I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign and I just need to talk through this, I need some insight, I can provide that for you. If you're like, I need 5 sessions to kind of help me get through this project, then there's that. And there's packages for longer term. So if you're looking for a coach to, again, help you think more creatively to make sure you overcome writer's block, definitely give me a call. I have just launched my Kickstarter for the month of, what are we in? June. So this
June.
whole, yeah, I have 9 days. If you're listening to this anytime soon in June, I have 9 days left to reach my Kickstarter stretch goal. So with a Kickstarter, in case you don't know, it's crowdfunding. And so I have products available. And each time you purchase directly through Kickstarter, that helps me have additional income to do things. So in this case, it's the hardcover copies that are special edition for Chasing Nightmares. They have sprayed edges and end papers and a dust jacket. And
Nice.
we reached, yeah, thank you. We reached that initial goal, and now we're working on some stretch goals. So yesterday we reached our first one for an audiobook. So book one, Sleeping Beauty. I know we will
Wow.
have the audiobook. So if you go and you purchase the audiobook, you will have that before it goes on to the mega retailers. And now, within these remaining days, I'm trying to hit 3,500 so that we can get both books in the series turned into audio. So
Okay.
the main thing is the Kickstarter, but I have books, I have fantasy books, mystery books. So if you are a reader who likes, character-driven stories and like movie-like scenes, definitely go over to the lizbullardwrites.com website and you can find all the good stuff that's going on. And then ending with the murder. So Lyra Sommers is my amateur sleuth. So I'll definitely be picking your brain about how she should be investigating and what she should be doing.
Yes.
She's super impulsive. She's had dreams about people in need, and really that just keeps driving her to search and to find these clues. And in this latest mystery, she keeps having this dream about fire and about someone that she cares about, Lenora, the old lady from book one, who gave her a weed brownie while she's trying to
Well, I
while
love
she's
it.
on the yes. And so it's a really just a fun story. It has that mystery. It has a little bit of that romance thread because readers really wanted that. So it's one of my favorite stories. Definitely not as dark, but there's a lot of humor.
Now I like that. We love
Yeah.
our humor.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, it
Thank
sounds like
you.
your Kickstarter has been successful and we need you to push through and get that second tier
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
accomplished.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll definitely put your all of your contact and stuff like that in our show notes so people can find
Thank
you
you.
easier. Yes, but we've been following you since since I think I first got on Instagram. So
Yeah, when I had the other podcast, Coffee and Combos.
yes,
Right.
that's right. Yeah. So, we've been watching your success just build and build, and we're so happy for you and so proud of you. I mean, just it's
Thank
like, oh my
you.
gosh, one of us is they're like
To do
achieving their
it,
goals,
making
achieving
it.
they're
That's
doing
right.
it. They're
We're
reaching their
still
dreams.
stumbling around.
Yeah. We're over here trying to play
Absolutely.
hopscotch.
Listen, and like the same is said for y'all. Like y'all are still out here podcasting. That is hard. Like, how many episodes has it been?
This will be 154. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yes, and we fumble and stumble, but we keep showing back up too.
And
So
we enjoy it. We
we
have
do.
fun.
We enjoy this. It's a good outlet for us. It's a great creativity outlet for us. So
Hmm.
we get to
It's
meet incredible
important.
people like you. So it's been so great because the podcast community is just so tight knit and
It
supportive.
is.
And I'm finding that the
Mhm.
author community is very much the same.
Exactly. And I think that's what made me excited about the transition and like into authorship. It's like everyone really is so supportive, really, helping each other, sharing information, promoting each other's work. So like it really is a great creative community. And from some of my other friends in other communities that are creative, sometimes they don't have that. But again, podcasting and authors, they really show up and support each other. And like I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I love it. It's
Yes.
awesome. Anything else you want to tell us?
Oh my goodness, let's see. Oh, so if you are into fantasy, I will tell you about in October 17th, that's my mom's birthday. I'm releasing the third book in my trilogy, the Prophecy trilogy. And that's kind of closing up the story arc of Tabitha, the chosen one. And we have the eclipse of the rising sun and the crimson sun. And this epic battle is going to take place. And they're trying to lean on the chosen one to save, the people of Zodia. However, there's some challenges and there's some obstacles and there's some division. And so, if you like elemental magic, if you like found family, if you kind of like destiny and prophecy, then that's going to be the series for you. If you're like, keep me
Definitely.
with the murder and mayhem, then you might want to pick up something in the Lyra Sommers mysteries.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
but sometimes it's good to take a break and then move on to a different genre so that you cleanse your palate a little bit and then go back to the dark stuff. So I think that's perfect that you've got a whole trilogy that we can tap into when we just need a little palate cleansing.
Love it. 1000%. A great way for it. Yeah,
Oh,
to describe it.
nice. All right, I'm gonna go check and see if my chocolate is set. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. What's you doing in here? It smells like chocolate.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
happy.
how is yours looking?
Oh, it looks really fun.
Oh.
It's not all the way set, but I'll just do this as much as I can.
Ooh,
Great.
So
nice little
it needs
color.
a
Let me
little bit more
see.
time, but
Mm-hmm.
it needs a little bit more time. So I'm going to put it back in the fridge, and then
Mm-hmm.
we can start wrapping up. And the last thing we'll do is try to eat because I think I've got one corner that we can cut. So let's just put it back in and see if it'll cool a little bit more because the top of it is not all the way set. Ooh, fine. I think it's going to taste really good because all of the elements taste good by themselves.
1000%.
So I have a question for you about your coaching. What would be in general, what would be like a good tip for somebody that has a writer's block? How do you get at
Oh,
the writer's block?
That's a
that's a
good
really
question.
good one. Yeah. So I always say when you are having writer's block or any creative block, treat it like a symptom, right? So like investigate why is this coming up? I think sometimes with the writer's block or like a creative block, we just think, oh, this is just part of the process and I'll wait until it's over. But like if you had a cold and you kept having like the sniffles, you wouldn't just say, let me just wait until it's over. You may say like, okay, why is this coming up? What do I need? Do I just need time? Do I need to do some other intervention? And the same thing with writer's block, right? Are you blocked because you're putting too much pressure on yourself? Are you blocked because you're no longer in love with the story? Are you blocked because you just need to put up your laundry and that's the thing taking up your mental space? But I would say, don't look at it as this is just part of the process and I'll just wait it out, but to really
Right.
say, why is this showing up? And that's going to help you unlock each and every time why you're experiencing that place of stagnation.
That's that we should do that.
Yeah, we need to remember those things when we're in writer's block, or we just need to remember, reach out to Liz and she'll remind us.
Yeah.
1000%. 1000%.
I think our biggest challenge is confidence.
Yeah.
As writers.
Yeah.
For us, I think that's the biggest, because that's not our day job, right? It's not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us majored in English.
Mm-hmm.
Or writing or
journalism or anything.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We did have fantastic
English teachers in high school.
Yeah. And college. But, we only just got into the writing situation 3 years ago. So we're, well into our 50s. One of us may have crossed into a different bracket than the 50s, but I feel like we started kind of late to be writers. And as we move along and trying to write our books, we definitely get to a point where we're both like, who are we? Like,
yeah, why are we doing this? Right.
And that thought, oh my God, you gotta like kick her to the curb and tell her to shut up and tell her she doesn't know what she's talking about. Like literally, because like that thought, and like I have it all the time. And that thought is it's a lie. And so for me, when I'm in that place of like, who am I? Go to the facts, right? Like you've put out a book, your reviews, what people have said and how they've loved it. And so like, that's the proof in the pudding. But I think if you're like, if you've never written before and you're at that stage and you're hearing that voice, you're going to have to know to do it scared and to sit in that discomfort and to really be honest of like, I'm not going to get better if I stop. I have to be bad and I have to do this and get to the end and be bad and I'll get better each time. And so it's really about thinking about what do you tell that voice. If you have the evidence that you can do this, then you present that to that voice every time. I can do this, and this is the evidence that knows. No, I might not be perfect, but I can get over this. And like sometimes, like if you feel like you have bad reviews or not a lot of reviews, look at your favorite author, look at your favorite book, and start reading those 1-star reviews until you get mad because it's like, I love this book, and they have 1 stars. Yeah, because you're not going to make everyone happy. And so, like, really focus on the people that have told you your work is inspiring or it healed something in them. And so, like, yeah, like I feel you. That's normal. But yeah, that voice doesn't know what it's talking about.
Oh my gosh. So we're normal.
I've never heard that before.
We are normal. There, you heard it. Just today, folks.
Liz has deemed us normal.
We're normal.
And she's the voice of authority. So who are we to argue?
She's a professional.
She's professional. Hello. She's a professional.
Liz, that's great advice.
It is wonderful advice, and we appreciate that.
I wish we had reached out to you during the process of writing our second book.
Yes. Well, here's what's really cool is Liz reviewed our second book for us. She is one of the few people on this earth that have read that book. And
I love it.
Part of her review, a snippet of her review is going to be on the back jacket.
It is indeed.
So, yeah. So there you go. And we just could not be more grateful to you for stopping and what you were doing in your life and reading that. Because I know we had like just a short fuse on it. I was like, how soon can you get this? And you really wrote us a wonderful, wonderful review, and we will always treasure it, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
Listen, it was so easy to do because it really is, oh my God, it's such a good book. The way you honored the story, the way that you presented it, for readers who may be off put by the subject matter, it was this gentleness. It was, it kept you turning, it kept you invested until the end. And it just really, I can't wait for folks to read it.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Should we just try to cut this? Should I try to cut it? Yeah, the salt has got like little crystals on top, so it's kind of cool looking. Just put it on this.
I think it's the dishwasher.
This maybe?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Oh.
I think I'm just gonna go in with spoon. Let's
There
see.
you go.
Yeah. it's going to be, I'll be able to just get one little corner out of this because it's not set yet, but it's enough to taste.
Let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. Like, there's the crust. Kind of. Okay.
This is killing me.
Okay.
This might be going
That's
in a
what I
bowl.
got.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's beautiful. You did so good.
It's delicious.
All right. Let's
Okay.
see.
I'm waiting for you.
I know. Oh, God. Oh,
It's thick.
it's very thick, and I'm pulling up the paper with it, so it's not an easy thing, but it's okay. We're going to get it. Look at it.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
that's all right.
it's okay. You can see some of the
Oh,
layers. It
wow.
broke apart. This piece right here goes under here. Here. There it is.
There it is.
All right, we're gonna taste it somehow. Wow. Okay. It's just, is this fork clean?
It is.
That's exciting. All right, you taste first.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
Wow.
Is
Mm.
it good?
Oh, and then it needed the caramel. Mm.
Yeah. I think this would be so good to keep in your refrigerator and cut it in like little bite-sized pieces. And then in the summer, when you
Yes.
come in from the pool or you come in
Yes.
from a hot walk, you just pop that little refrigerated caramel shortbread in your mouth.
But it's just enough. It's just tasty enough, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
can I have a taste?
No.
Oh, she's not letting me taste it.
Get your own.
I
There you
can't.
go. You
It's
taste it.
like falling apart.
Oh, it's delicious.
Is it? I'm so excited.
Mhm.
Cool. Thank you.
Luke. Thank you for the shortbread, Luke.
Wow.
Yes.
I love the little bit of salt on top.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of hits you at the end. It's so good.
Mm.
Well done, ladies. Well done.
We did it again.
And it's not overly sweet. Like, it is just a perfect
Wow.
summer snack.
Yes. Oh, that's so fun. It's all over me. Well,
Yes. Let's go on. Yes. We are.
we appreciate you coming on. Mm.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me share about the Kickstarter and just everything.
Absolutely. Yes,
And
for
And all the
sure.
best to you and all your writing and investigating.
Thank you.
Thank you so
So
much.
we do want to remind you to stay sweet and don't murder.
Because if you kill people, we will talk about you.
That's the truth. All right, everybody, go find Liz on social media. Look in the show notes. Find her Kickstarter. Find her website. Hire her as a coach. Hire her. I don't know. Just hire her. Like, well, I don't care. Just send her money. Just like Duff is going to send us a black chiller. Everybody send Liz some love through cash.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I like it.
Anyway, follow us on social media too. We're in all the places. Email us.
Murder.sugarcoated@gmail.com.
All right, everybody. Head on a swivel. Stay safe. We all love you.
Bye.
This has been Sugar Coated Murder Podcast, a deliciously entertaining true crime podcast. Like what you heard? You can always explore past episodes by visiting sugarcoatedpod.com. Don't forget to like our Facebook fan page and share with friends. Thanks for listening to Sugar Coated Murder Podcast.